Hey guys, welcome to the RoundTable. Here at the RoundTable, we continue the conversations that we have had from Sunday morning and how you can have practical ways to help every person take their next steps towards Jesus together.
Hey, welcome everybody to episode number 52 of the RoundTable. Again, we thank you for joining us online, listening, and or watching. You both got a smirk on your face now.
I was trying not to.
You both are sitting there going.
Because she keeps looking over here, seeing what I'm doing. And
I'm trying to look at the camera, but it's in my way.
This is messed up already.
Yeah.
It is.
No.
But it's kind of good. We should just keep on going.
No, we are going to keep going.
We are.
But see, this is the reason. This is what we're going to get to. That's why. Do you know more people...
No, I'm just waiting for the...
Now you have that.
No, listen, if you saw the camera...
What?
Like, I've had lots of meetings with Troy, and he's not like this.
I'm just waiting for the next thing to come out of somebody's mouth, man. Sorry.
Oh my
this
gosh.
is the point of why people watch. Do you know more people watch us than listen?
Really?
Yeah, because it's pretty funny.
I mean, how else could you get this dynamic?
That's true. Very true.
Right?
Very real.
You wouldn't see these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just adds all of it to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so watch it, listen, and again, we'll remind you at the end, make sure that you, if you see a post on social media, share it as we want to continue to grow our influence in that.
Yes.
But RoundTable, just as a reminder, is an opportunity for us to talk more about the Sunday morning, and it's kind of evolved into current events, right? And we always have special guests.
Yeah, always.
Right? And now we have a famous guest.
Very
again.
famous.
Did you realize how many famous guests you got on when you started putting them down?
Yeah, I know.
And if we had our autograph board up here like we talked about?
Yep. It's coming.
Yeah. So does that mean Troy's the first one to sign?
No. It's coming.
She said no, right?
I didn't say no.
We can't just
Once
do it on
we have
this wall?
I mean, sure, go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that was part of our thing to talk
it
about.
was.
He was going to write his words of wisdom and then sign it. That way when he gets back into MMA, because that's why he's famous.
He is going to get back.
We showed pictures of him.
Wait, did we show them?
Didn't we show pictures
I don't
of
think
him
we
on one
showed
of the
them.
podcasts?
Yeah, we'll find it by the end of the podcast.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, no. So one of the podcasts is
Yep.
Troy the Hammer.
Yep, because his mom was
not
on.
even a thing.
Yeah, no, all right, so that's his nickname.
Troy the Hammer.
Hammer, because he would hammer you.
What?
That's pretty intense.
Why are you making stuff up, man? I told you.
That really wasn't your nickname?
No, you can't give yourself a nickname.
Why?
No, because you just can't.
So somebody can, though?
Yeah, but like if Mike saw me fight and he's like, that guy's a beast or a savage, then
my
I would be
gosh.
one of those two things. But I can't just be like, yeah, I'm going to give myself an awesome nickname. You just can't.
Well, I'm
what if
pretty sure he just did.
No, what if you're going to give yourself like a WWE wrestler and you make, don't be Dwayne Johnson, right? Like
Why? He's gone on to make movies and
The Rock. People don't know him as Dwayne Johnson. They know him
That's
as The
true.
Rock.
That's
so
true.
if you could give yourself an alternate name, what would it be?
Ooh,
Huh?
great question.
I would be the Punisher.
Yes.
Sure, that's great.
See?
Yeah.
Right
Was
there.
that
See?
your dream to be like in the
Punisher?
WWE?
The
Exactly.
WWE what?
The WWE.
No.
No.
I did MMA.
Well,
It's like-
why did you say WWE?
Because in WWE, most of those guys don't have their names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was just
Like
using it
Hulk
for everything.
Hogan, that's not his real name.
Right.
What's his real name?
Don't ask me that.
Terry Bollea.
Oh,
Is
shoot.
it really? Seriously? Look at that trivia.
Wow.
Yeah,
I know a lot of useless facts.
Yeah, I would have lost
Yeah.
it round. Those are the great. Like on the Snapple bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's on the Snapple bottle?
It's under the cap. Like,
Anyway,
yeah.
Troy was an MMA fighter. So,
Yes.
again, that's another reason you should watch. Because if you get a side view.
There it is.
Yes.
Wait, maybe we did have this up here.
Yeah,
No,
because
No.
we just looked at it in that meeting the one day.
That's right. That's right. We had it after.
so you got to watch now
Yep.
to be able to see the hammer.
That's intense. What's
Punisher.
what?
The Punisher,
What are
yeah.
you holding, Punisher?
That's going to be awesome.
What are you holding? What did you
a
win?
plaque for winning.
What did you win? A round?
He beat somebody's
I
face
won.
in.
The Punisher.
The Punisher submitted
I
somebody.
won the fight.
Wow, and he has a belt and everything.
Did you
Yeah.
knock him out?
No, that was a rear naked choke is what that was.
Yes.
Is that your
Submission.
manager?
No, that's my buddy who fought too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you're getting MMA and WWE super confused.
Probably.
It's okay.
Yeah, but you have don't you have an entourage when you come down the
No, somewhat like
Yeah.
people that you train with and stuff.
Right.
You know, things
Wow.
like that.
right? So you can see the pictures of then and now.
Yep.
No, like you always got to get the side view so everybody can see Troy's biceps.
Come on, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, he is in the side view.
Yeah,
Do it.
Do it.
Come on.
Why not?
Because my wife would be like, "What are you doing?"
No, listen.
Just gotta prove they're bigger than Joel's.
Yes.
Oh yeah, here, Joel.
Childs.
Yeah, there you go, Joel. You see that?
That's just for Joel. Trainer extraordinaire. See,
Yeah.
Why did you have to get us on that, man?
That's
Does
right.
Joel
this
listen to
is-
the podcast?
I hope so.
Who's Joel?
You don't know Joel Childs?
No.
He's the track coach at Huntington University.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He
comes
thinks
to
he has
life.
big
He's in their
guns.
small group.
Oh, I probably do know him.
Does he have big guns?
Yeah.
Joel?
Yes. Does he
Am I allowed
not?
to answer that? I mean,
Does he think he does?
well, no, like,
Is this a
see, I'm going to
joke?
say something. I can't stop.
Is this a joke that I
No,
don't
it's
get?
not a joke.
I should have been there.
No, but he just has a body.
Joel's skinnier than you.
Oh, so it's that kind of a joke. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah,
Sorry, Joel. I didn't
like
mean to hash this all up.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Wow, like noodle
Thank
arms.
you for that.
I'm not saying it's bad, but
He's a
not,
track runner.
He's skinny.
He is a track
Yeah,
runner.
it's different body types.
That's what I'm saying.
Like he's got a different goal for his body.
That's
Exactly.
what I mean. He can show off by running 45 miles and coming
Right.
back without sweating. You have
Right.
biceps.
Right.
Okay.
Because you're
That's what
supposed to
I'm
be.
saying. You
You're
gotta
supposed to be
talk-
as light as possible when you're running long distance.
It is. Well, let's talk about that. How'd your long distance running go?
It was intense.
Meaning?
So, okay,
Because
well-
you went to the Indy Mini
Yeah, I did the half marathon
and then to Disney.
a couple
World.
weeks ago. Yeah, that was awful.
That's
but
why
anyways,
she was grouchy at Disney.
probably, yeah, because I was
Right.
like limping. Well, not really, but so we had to. It took forever to get a parking spot. Okay, so that took a lot of time away from us to be able to bag in our stuff at the UPS center. So we were running back to get into our Coral. So we were Coral 2. And then when we had got up after we put our stuff away, it was Coral 3 was coming up. So we just kept on running because we were running from the baggage area.
You were late to
Yes.
your race. Late to your race.
Yes. Well, we were there early, but yeah, we were late because of me. But anyways, so we are just like running.
Who's we?
My brother, my uncle, and I.
Okay.
So we're just running, and all of a sudden we're just in the race. There was never ready, set, go. It was just like we were running and just running.
Okay.
It
Did
was.
you run the whole time?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
What was your time?
It was 2:29. So I started out like with the both of them for 4 miles, and then I couldn't hang any longer. They were going way too fast. Because I wanted to go slower and then go fast,
Right.
but I felt like I had to keep up with them, so I went fast and then
Hurt your hip and
Slow.
limped the way in.
yeah. Hey, I didn't stop though, only to drink water.
Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then went to Disney World and
Yeah.
you said everybody at Disney World hated their life.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
So are you
really
gonna-
not magical. I even Googled it too.
The Magic Kingdom is not magical?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, we didn't even go on a hot week. It was actually really nice. There was a breeze, but oh
Was
my
it
gosh.
busy?
Yes.
It was.
It was super busy. For it being like
Surprised
an
it'd be-
off season.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
Yeah,
It
because
wouldn't
we
be
went
busy
at
right now.
a slower time. Yeah.
Okay.
But I walked almost 60 miles.
Jenny.
I swear I did it on my
Jenny.
It told me. So
Who
my watch.
told you walk 60 miles?
Almost 60 miles. So it was like 55, 56, but I rounded up.
That's impressive.
I know.
That's a lot of
That
walking.
is a lot of miles for a vacation. Yeah, I needed a
So it's
vacation.
not really a vacation.
After my vacation. Well, I thought we were going to the beach, and then I was uninformed.
Uninformed.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, that's okay.
missly uninformed.
You were uninformed.
I was.
Or you were misinformed.
That sounds great. Oh my gosh, that's what I meant to say the whole time. I was misinformed, and then hated for it later on.
Yeah, and that's what started the whole fight. 'Cause
Yes.
Now you're mad. 'Cause
Yeah.
You get there. and
Yes.
You're not at the beach.
Right.
You're complaining.
Right. Well, no, not really.
Did you have your own hotel room?
No, I was with my parents.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, we were in. It was like a.
Nope. I won't
So.
I won't even stay with my kids in a hotel room.
Oh, I mean, so we stayed like on the Disney property,
Mm-hmm.
and the place that we were in could have probably got like a resort, like with 2 separate rooms. You know,
Mm-hmm.
no, it was like your average like hotel room with 2 beds and 1 bathroom.
And you had to share with your parents.
Yes,
Yeah. no
that
way.
was
Nope.
really didn't turn out bad towards the end, but in the beginning,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could not share a room. Like when you and Keely go, do the kids stay with you guys or in an
I don't know what they do.
Huh?
I don't know what they do.
What do you mean what they do?
We're worried about ourselves. They're self-sufficient.
I'm saying when you guys go on vacation, do you get separate rooms?
No.
No?
No.
Do you get one with,
usually
like,
we
2
get a
rooms?
Airbnb that's
Oh,
got
you
separate
do.
rooms
See?
or a couch that folds out.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
Okay.
much different.
we're pretty close, but we don't hate each other either. So
yeah.
I know, but
But there is a too close.
Do you travel much?
not now because the kids are just super busy.
Okay. Did you
So-
before?
Yeah, we had a camper before, and then we sold it to Tyler and Kate. So
That would be fun. A camper.
Do you like to camp?
Yes, and a camper.
Yeah.
Glamping.
yeah, that's what it is. It's fun.
Yeah, it's got air conditioning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Stove, refrigerator.
You can go every
Did you
weekend.
just stop because you guys got busy?
Yeah,
But that was the vacation of choice?
yeah, for sure.
Camping?
Yeah.
Because you can do it every weekend.
What would
Yep.
your vacation of choice be?
Oh, like the beach, like tropical, doing nothing but tanning, relaxing.
The mountains. That would be mine.
That would be amazing too.
Yeah,
How
out
about
west.
California, where there's both?
I'm not going to California.
They're so nice there.
Huh?
They're so nice.
People in California?
Yes.
But I like hope sometimes California falls off the face of the map.
Well, nowadays maybe.
Huh? Yeah, it's changed a lot maybe.
Yes. When I went, it was not like that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so Troy, tell us a little bit about you. Troy's our special guest, and we actually got his name in.
We did,
before halfway
before.
through the podcast,
Yeah.
and we get to know. Yeah, that's part.
We
of the
never do
problem.
it.
No.
No.
Yeah, we have to always go back. Hey, this is actually Troy. He just spoke for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so tell us
forgot
a
we were
little
on a
bit about you.
podcast.
My name's Troy. I'm 41. Keely is my wife. Got 2 kids, Cameron and Eli. We've been coming to church here for a couple years. I'm a garbage man in Fort Wayne.
Has
I've
it
had
just been 2 years?
probably 2 or 3? I don't know.
Wow.
Life just goes by in the blink of an eye.
I can
man.
remember doing your Discover Life while I was in Party Barn, and it
Yep.
was virtual.
Oh, wow.
Online and Zoom, and you're like, trying to, I'm like, wait, what are they all about? Whatever. Guess we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been coming here for 2 or 3 years. I've had the same job in Fort Wayne. I'm a garbage man. I've worked there for 18 years.
Wow.
I have no desire to quit or move on anywhere. It's a good, steady job, and that's what I like to do. So
And it's crazy hours.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
amazing
Really?
that you keep doing it.
yeah,
Why?
I get
What
up
is-
super early and just whenever the route's done, I get to go home. So
When is the route done?
just whenever it's done.
What's the route done?
It varies.
Like a typical day.
It varies.
Like 5?
No, not that late.
Oh, okay.
There's
Because
no
you're.
way.
He goes in at 2 in the morning.
Are you kidding me? No.
2 in the morning.
3?
Huh?
3?
2 in the morning.
Too.
You go in at 2 in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, you said no. You're not kidding me. I was like, why are you shaking your head?
No joke.
Just so you can guess more numbers.
Yes, I
Yeah,
thought
he's up there. 2:30.
Get 'em warmer.
2:45. Holy crap! But that's a good workout. I feel like.
What?
I don't know, lifting the garbage
I sit in the truck.
and lift it manually
No, I
or whatever.
I have a little.
Lift it with an automatic thing.
Yeah,
it's-
that's what I
It
meant.
goes out. And,
Automatic, manual, same thing.
It's actually like the dumpster out back that you guys have.
Okay.
That's what I do. That's the
okay.
dumpsters that
You don't
I
have
pick
to do
up.
the little ones.
No.
Like drive
That's
down
what I was
city streets.
thinking.
No, so there's not much. I mean, you're in and out of the truck probably 100 times a day.
Are you really?
Just opening gates, shutting gates, rolling cans out of little cubby holes. And these guys that work downtown, they have it real bad. There's probably 200 cans down there downtown in Fort Wayne that they have to
Wow.
roll out every single day.
Really?
So yeah, I don't envy those guys. But,
Yeah. Well, where's your route at?
Fort Wayne, Waynedale,
Okay.
Ossian, Markle, stuff like that.
Okay.
I've hit
So-
one of those trash cans out in Waynedale.
Yeah.
you hit it with your car?
Yes.
The dumpster?
It came out in front of me, man.
No, one of those
All of a
plastic
sudden,
ones?
no, one of the metal ones. Those big metal ones that we had, like the one out there.
Yeah?
That I hit that.
It just rolled out on the street.
It sure did.
don't
It was
think
that was a bad day. That
don't
was a
think
real
that
bad
happens.
day. It did. It did.
Just rolls
And
out
it
in the middle
does.
of the street.
Yeah. No, that's what I say. Makes me feel a lot better.
That makes the Waynedale experience
Yes.
better.
Right.
Yeah.
What else do you love to do?
I love to hang out with Keely and the boys. They're really my best friends, man. Like if I had to pick people to hang out with all day, it would be them every time, 10 times out of 10.
That's amazing.
My wife's my best friend. She keeps me grounded. I love her company. She's just a joyful person to be around. She keeps me in line. Like she's not afraid to tell me how it is. So I need that. I need that constantly.
How long have you been together?
We've been together 20 years.
Wow.
And we'll be married 18 years in August.
Wow.
Yeah,
And how
so
old are you?
41.
Okay.
Yeah, about half my life.
Yeah.
She's
Seriously.
she's what I know. So
Yeah.
you know, she's
Why, you guys met in high school?
no man.
What?
No, we
Why
met.
are you
I'm
laughing?
laughing at him. Nah, man.
We met after I got out of jail.
What? I didn't know you went to jail.
Yeah.
Bonding time. What county were you in?
Huntington. It was only for a
There you
weekend.
go.
Hey,
It
a
was only for a
weekend is
weekend.
too long.
There you go.
Did
got
you
some
get
bonding.
a tattoo in jail?
No, I didn't.
Okay, not that weekend. Wasn't that
No,
boring?
I was super freaked out. That
Freaked
was-
out being in jail?
Oh yeah, that was super weird. I never anticipated
This
that
was
in
just
life.
like a one-time
either.
experience.
yeah, one
though.
time experience. Never again.
Good for you. You learned
No,
from it.
never again.
No, but like seriously, you didn't meet her right after jail.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I was on probation, lost my license, had to pay all these fines.
Yep,
and
been there.
One of the things was you had to have a job. So I went to Tumbleweed, that's like Naked Chopsticks now at Coventry.
Yeah.
So I
Yum.
went there to get a job and started washing dishes, you know, and I was back in the back smoking a cigarette, taking my break, and she comes back. She's like,
You used to smoke?
"Hey, how you doing? My name's Keely." I'm like, "Oh man." Like,
So
okay.
she was a waitress there?
Yeah, she was a server. Yeah.
Aw.
So she I don't know what her problem was, but she took a liking to me and just
So did she drive you around then?
yeah. Yeah.
Because you're on probation.
Yeah, man,
Yep.
she invested a lot. Like when you're talking about investing in people,
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest investments I've ever seen someone partake into another person ever.
Keely
in my life.
she took you under her wing.
She did.
Wow.
Yep. I'm not trying to, boost her up at all, but I am who I am today because of her. No joke.
Yeah, no, we want to boost her up.
No, that
joke
is
about it.
amazing.
She
Yeah.
is.
So do you think
She's
you would
it.
have continued on that lifestyle, like if not
Oh
for,
yeah, I
for
would have
her?
been screwed.
Wow.
Yeah, it would have been bad news.
Well, this is funny. I've never heard this part of your story.
I know,
Have you
this
told
is so
anybody this
No,
story?
I just don't go be like, hey, guess what happened to me when I was 20? I
I
went
think
to
you should
jail.
though. I think he should be the one telling your testimony during the summer night.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
serious.
maybe.
Like, have you ever talked about it? Because I mean, I'm kind of interested now.
I am
Did you grow
too.
up in a church? Did you?
No, so when you say night with grandma or whatever, like she went to church all the time.
Good
Okay.
old grandma.
My parents tried, but my dad got burnt. At a church, he felt like all they were doing was using him for work,
Yeah.
and so that kind of turned him off. But he knows the Lord.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like my parents, my mom especially, don't think that you need to necessarily go to church. So I tried talking to her about it, and she's come a long way in her journey.
Right.
Like we talk about God, and she's, I'm praying for you, I love you, pray for you. Like, so she's come a long way in her journey. I want them to come here and be with us as a
Right.
family.
But you
And-
didn't grow up with it.
Not necessarily.
Okay. Well, I mean, you grew up with it. You knew it, but
I
it
mean-
wasn't something that was in your life.
Right.
No, I feel like God has always been there though. Like like looking back, there's always little snippets of like, yeah, it's Sunday morning, you wake up and go to church with your grandma. Or I remember the times doing fish fry with my dad at Methodist church. Like I remember all those things. So I think God was just slowly grooming me, and He knew I was going to have bumps in the road and some roadblocks here and there, and just slowly worked His way in. And
So, what were
No.
your bumps in the road? Did it happen in high school?
oh yeah, man, this.
Well, you don't have to share them.
No,
I think it's good for people to know.
I
like,
know. I agree.
I was doing everything, man. I mean,
really.
drugs, drinking, partying, women. It never stopped. Like my parents were super cool in the way that as long as I made it home at night and I wasn't dead, they were okay. Like they were cool with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was no like, hey, be home at 11. It was just like, hey, we'll see you when we see you, bro. And it's not they didn't love me or anything,
Right.
but
Right.
they wanted to be the parents who didn't have the clutches.
Is
you
that
know?
how you parent now?
No.
Much different.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm just asking.
No,
Yeah.
because I know how fast things can turn.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know how fast the world can get a hold of you. And, I want my boys to have some kind of integrity,
Right.
and some kind of self-respect. And I feel like that trickles down to your friend circle, to whoever you're going to be with. Like Cam, he's got a girlfriend. And if I ever heard of him disrespecting her or talking down to her, it would, I don't know, he'd probably get spanked, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
It's over there.
hey man, it is what it is. Like
Right.
I don't want them to be like turds growing up like I was. I don't want them to look back and be like, man, I went this whole long road around everything
Right.
to get to this point. I want them to cut through all the junk,
Yeah.
all the mess. I want them to be led well, and by me and Keely and
Right.
by our family and our friends, and I just want them to have some sense of pride in life.
Right.
So
Right. And so
Yeah.
Keely was seriously what turned you around?
Yeah, so
I love that.
No, I mean, but here we could just use this as a
I
story. You
know.
always hear people say this, which most of the time it's true.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ever change them. But
Well,
Keely proved she
you
could
talked
change
about
'em.
this in a service before. And so we were sitting there talking. I kind of like bumped her. I'm like, hey, talking about us, talking about us. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, she was going to school at St. Francis, and she was working at Scott's when it was at Coventry and Tumbleweed.
Scott's.
So she had 2 jobs, and she was going to college.
Wow.
And we started talking a little bit, and we'd go to the Gold's Gym when it was still open. And so we were sitting there lifting weights and stuff. And she's like, you go to church? And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to church. And she's like, well, anybody that I'm going to be with and, do anything with, like, I need them to go to church. I'm like,
There
yep.
you go, Keely. Good job.
When is church next week?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm about. Like,
Yeah.
So basically, I had no desire to seek God.
Right.
To be honest, like it wasn't even on my radar.
Right.
But when I met her, I just wanted to be around her. So inadvertently, like I started going to a boy Lutheran church with her, and we went there a few times, and it really didn't last too long. Like she got tied up in school and stuff, and I screwed up a lot of stuff for her. So she
screwed up a lot of stuff
Yeah,
for
she
her.
actually failed a year of school because of me.
Wow.
So now we have even more student loans because of bad decisions.
You didn't know that you were going to be carrying that on, did you?
Bad hanging out time, and just it was like nothing mattered.
Yeah,
We just wanted to hang out and be with each other. So
Right.
we sacrificed some of that. So I
Young
had like another
love.
$30,000 of student loan onto the whatever. So, but yeah, she was how, I don't want to say like how God got a hold of me, but I'm gonna say that like
Right.
I was going this way,
Right.
and there's no other explanation of how she ended up in my life than him.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that 2 people just intersect like that randomly.
Right.
And so, complete opposite people, complete opposite standards. She doesn't cuss, she doesn't drink, she don't smoke. And I was the complete opposite. Like I was doing all those in abundance. So it's like, how does it even happen?
Right.
And so looking back, it's God at work.
Right.
And he had
Give me goosebumps.
he had a bigger plan for me than what I could have ever imagined, even what she can imagine. He knew we were going to have kids. We didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married.
Really?
Yeah, man. I just wanted.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say.
What was he going to say?
He didn't want to be married. He
Keely.
wanted to keep living that life.
Keely, I'm sorry.
She probably already knows.
No, she already knows.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to hook up with her.
Okay.
That was what I wanted to do. Like that was my end goal. Like
Right.
it wasn't to have a like for real relationship, but
Right.
the more that I felt like truly loved by her, I had no other choice but to love her back. Like, it was just, there was just something about someone investing so much time in you and so much energy. Like, why would you not want to be around that person all the time?
Right.
Yeah.
So, like here we are 20 years later, man. And yeah.
And you didn't want to have kids?
No, neither
You're
one.
good with your kid. Neither one of you
Neither
wanted
one
to
of
have
us did. No,
Wow.
when she got pregnant, we actually drove. We used to live on Getz Road at some apartments over there, and when she was like, "Hey, like I'm late," I'm like, "We're like how like for work or like what are we talking about
That's
here?"
amazing.
And so she I'm just tell the story. So she holds up the pregnancy test, and I'm like, "Nah, that's wrong." So I actually went and took one. So listen,
you took one?
Yeah, I peed on the thing to see if they were broke.
Oh my gosh, I've never heard anybody say that.
Oh yeah. Then I looked at it and it's negative. I'm like, hey, yours says plus, mine says minus. I'm like, you're definitely pregnant. Like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we
Wow.
drove all the way from drove from Fort Wayne to Huntington to talk to her parents. And her dad's like, I knew something was up. Either you guys were gonna already be divorced or you were pregnant. And so here comes Cameron, and
Wow.
we didn't want him, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, Cameron.
Which
Sorry-
here's the
sorry,
funny
Cam.
thing to like, did you fall into this myth that like she was on birth control or it didn't work, or like how did it like
all the things,
all of them?
yeah, all the safety things you can do, we were doing.
You were doing it
Really?
didn't work.
He was meant to be. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh my gosh. So then after him, then you did want more? Or
No.
that happened second time?
No, we were good with just him. And one day we were driving home. We used to live on High Street, just right over here. And there's this. It might have been one of the Blackburn kids. Honestly, they're outside playing, and I'm like, oh, that little boy's out there by himself. I'm like, that's super weird. Like, I don't want my kid to be his only friend. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
throwing a ball to himself or a stick or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they do.
Only child.
So I just mentioned something to her. I'm like, hey, like I don't want to just have one kid. And so she's like, all right. She's like, we can try again. And once we find out he's okay, then you have to go get a vasectomy. So.
Oh, and you got one.
Two's the charm.
Huh?
It was part of the deal.
Two's the charm.
Two's the charm.
I just made that up for him.
Two's the charm.
Well, I didn't know if he fell into like, so when Lexi's
Yeah.
born, Lexi always says she's a mistake.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like, not a mistake. I knew what I was doing. Like, you have sex, and, you know, sometimes it produces babies. But I
Sometimes.
thought I read somewhere that when Sherry was nursing, because she was still nursing Brady.
Oh,
Brady was that
my
young, that
gosh.
you could have sex and you can't get pregnant. You know? I mean, I just thought that was a deal. I mean, that's how sows are.
Where did you? They are.
Yeah, when they're nursing their
So
babies, they
you-
won't come in heat.
Yeah, right. So like,
So if it sounds like that, then surely the
Well,
woman's
it
like
follow-
that.
Most of it follows the human thing.
That's true.
Yeah, like when a sow's nursing, she can't come in heat. So I'm
Wow.
like, must be the same with my wife.
You found out.
this is.
that was
I had
not
no
true.
idea this was going to be like this today. Just so you know, like,
Me either. I did not walk in here
What are
thinking.
you talking about?
Yeah.
Did you guys anticipate
Well,
that?
no. Hey,
Oh,
What
you knew?
are you talking about?
this is what happens. You walk in here and you never know what's going to happen.
I
That's
was like,
what
this
makes
is going
it
to be
so
really
great.
great and like edifying for my spiritual walk.
No,
What are you talking What?
you learned that sows cannot have babies when they're
Everything
nursing.
we've said so far is edifying.
Absolutely.
His story and
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the story of a woman can change a man. The thing that I
Yes.
say can never happen.
Yeah.
Except for Keely.
Except
Yeah.
Hey, she don't
Maybe
mess
you
around.
should use that as an example. Maybe you should pick a guy you could fix.
Oh, I should?
Yeah.
I've done that way too many times. My track record is not good.
Fixing him?
Yeah.
No.
But I wasn't fixed either, so that's probably it too.
Right.
But I truly think, like, when you say that you can't fix somebody or a guy, or you can't fix a guy, I would like turn it back to investing in somebody, because that's exactly what she did.
Right.
So if somebody's investing in them, do you not think that that can happen?
Well, I don't think in a marriage, the whole idea of investment, I think it's, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like you talk to a lot of people, they don't really work on their marriage. Mm-hmm. Like they're in relationship, but they don't really invest. Like the whole idea of,
Okay.
you have a love language and, you know, I do think Troy said it is because Keely kept investing in him and loving him.
Right.
It changed something in him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, where I was saying, a lot of times in relationship, it's not so much investment, it's just a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, you know, we're completely opposite. He's probably not where he should be, but you don't know how to fix it or you don't know how to invest. And I think that's where it goes down the road. That is wrong.
I think people can definitely just coexist and just
Definitely.
live parallel and live on the same plane, but never really intersect and build into each other.
Right.
Like I don't feel like, sorry, I don't
No.
feel like in our relationship she's never left me behind.
Right.
And I'm so far behind, if that makes sense. Like where she is, where she was spiritually when we first met, even like financially, and just like she had it together, like, and I did not.
Right.
But she never left me behind.
So what were some ways that she did like invest in you that truly made the difference?
Well, like I'm saying, like I needed a ride to work. We worked at the same place, and she drove by my mom and dad's house. I mean, somewhat.
Yeah.
But she took an extra 10 minutes. She left her mom and dad's house
Right.
10 minutes early to make sure that I was able to get to work, that I can make the money that I needed. I mean, she would come get me from my parents and drive me all the way back to Huntington to take a drug test once a week. Like she was just
Ooh, yeah.
always there no matter what.
Right.
Like I mean, random things like, hey, I'm going to the mall. Do you want to go?
Right.
And like we weren't together, like we were hanging out.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Right.
Like, and no matter what kind of stupidity I was on or whatever I was doing, like she was always there loving me. No questions asked.
So what would you do, like, now that you know that story? So let's just say one of your sons. What's your son's name that doesn't have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Okay, I know he doesn't have a
Yeah,
boyfriend.
thanks, buddy, for not doing that.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Seriously.
Eli.
Okay, so if Eli wants to pick a girl and she's wild, right? Like, she
Girls
doesn't-
Gone Wild.
I'm just saying
Yep.
maybe she doesn't have the stuff together and you know about it. Would you be okay if he dated her?
I think I would.
Okay.
That's a good question.
People are,
Because, you know, some people are very rigid that way then
Yeah.
and say, like, no, you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
I mean, who am I to judge? Because at the end of the day, I was wild too.
No, I know, but I think
And-
most parents would say it's our job to protect, so that's why we don't want to let our kids.
It is. There would be precautions and there would be things that we would look at for sure. But what I'm getting at is like I've had a past, you've had a past. I mean, we've all had a past, and
Right.
Like if somebody judged me how I was when I was 15 or 16, I'd be doomed. So how can I do that? You know what I mean? Especially when the person that we're talking about, my wife, didn't judge me on that.
Right.
Like, oh, you just got out of jail, you're all jacked up. Like I can't have anything to do with you.
Right.
That
Yeah.
wouldn't be fair to do that to someone else, I don't think, especially when I've been given such an opportunity by another human being.
Right.
So
well, I
it's-
think they say it out of love, right? Like the idea is
Yeah.
they don't want you to get hurt. So
Yeah.
they don't want them to be. I mean, I'm assuming parents were saying some of that stuff because they maybe see the other side of it, you know, where they go down the wrong path and don't get changed and their heart gets broken, you know.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't you say you're somewhat of an anomaly?
I don't know about all that. Nah,
That's pushing it.
What do you think? You don't think?
I don't think I'm like a unicorn or anything. No.
No,
I don't think
It
I'm
is
like a
pretty
one-off.
no, but
I don't. Yes, I can see both ways because I feel like, especially dating in a different like mindset. Because, like I said, I did try to like change people and everything else. But for me, like I look to the Bible and see that we're supposed to be equally yoked. To me, like dating somebody like the old me wouldn't be necessarily equally yoked. So I probably wouldn't give them a chance, and I haven't. Like I've turned down relationships since coming to Jesus and whatever, and because of that.
Right.
So this is a really tough like situation because you can change.
Because it worked for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
It was just God's will. I mean, it's really nothing that I did. Like, I wasn't seeking her, and I don't think she was really seeking me.
I would like to hear her perspective on this.
It's the exact same.
We have to get.
Like, did she hear from God? Like, did she, like, I want to know how
Or was
that.
she just looking at your biceps? And
Yeah.
Saying, "Dude,
No.
that's how it started.
The Punisher got her.
Yeah, the Punisher got her. Right? He's back there doing dishes with a cut off
Oh,
white
yeah.
t-shirt. She's like, dude.
Scrubbing that. Yeah, that man can do dishes.
That's how I had to start. Right? Yes. Yes. It
I
has
need
always
to
been
know.
a physical attraction.
That's what is exactly what I
always
was gonna say.
has
It's
to.
always a physical thing. So
Oh, well,
sure,
duh.
people are gonna walk by each other and be like, "Yeah, you got it going on," but
Right.
I think that only lasts for so long.
Right.
You know, like you can see through everyone's BS
No,
like
I know,
super
but I'm
fast.
using that as because I think it's a fun example because again, she got to know you, she thought you were hot. You guys date, then she found out you don't have your license, you just got out of jail. Right? So my point just was in normal situations, whoever's Keely's parents were in it, if
Yeah.
you put it in the Christian model,
Exactly.
they say, don't date that guy.
Oh,
That's all I'm saying.
Her dad said it a lot.
Really?
He's like, "This isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna last." And,
Wow.
and her dad ended up being one of my best friends.
Okay.
So, you know, he passed away 5 or 6 years ago, which that's rough because our kids are just starting to get older at the time. And,
Right.
you know, he missed, he's not missing out on anything now. You know, I
Right.
mean, he's looking down like he's, you know,
Yeah.
he's full of joy and happiness. Like,
Right.
I'm sure he still wants the best for us and wants us to live a meaningful life, but
Right.
he's not sad.
Right.
You know, our boys were sad, but yeah, I'm sure he said it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
There was times
Wow.
she would tell me, she's like, my dad don't think it's gonna work. Even when we were married, I think probably like he was probably like, oh my gosh, really?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I mean, it's a good example that God can do things. It's just interesting as you talk through dating and what do we tell our kids and
Yeah.
how much do we control their friend groups and how
Yeah.
much do we control their dating experience? What should be that role and how should that look like? Because you're an example of, wow, I mean, you got a good woman and she
is.
She flipped you around.
Yeah.
She did.
Now I'm confused.
On-
So should I be going to the prisons and
I mean,
and like, you know, investing in them? I've always said, what if my husband's in prison? You know,
That's what
what if
you
he's
said?
there for life and I just will never meet him?
Do you think that truly happens?
No, I
Like,
just think it's a joke and it's funny.
kind of looking at you like, I'm
no.
not really sure if you're serious.
No,
either.
I was kidding.
No, I don't know.
But I'm
'cause I don't-
serious. Like that makes me like think things. Like what? I don't know. Made
Well, the
me
point would be
question
is
it.
like, how strong are you?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like,
What,
could
like
you lead him
in-
out of the mess?
Or be pushed back into it.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it sounded like Keely didn't have a desire to go into Troy's world.
That's true.
no, she
Oh,
would never sway from who she is for anyone.
Right.
And not that I conformed to her, but like I
Right.
wanted to be a part of what she was doing. Like, you know her and see her. Like,
Yeah.
she always has a smile on her face.
She's so sweet.
She is just a happy person, and you know, I was miserable and there's days I still am, and she's like, dude, like you have so much to be grateful for. Like even 20 years in, like she still builds into me.
Right.
Like I think I'm just a pessimist, like on a daily.
You are?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I always see the glass half empty. But she's always right by my side, and you know, she holds me up a lot.
Right.
And she's like, hey man, like you have a lot to be grateful for. Just take a breath today and just look around.
Right.
And
That's awesome.
it really helps.
Right.
So even to this day, she still hasn't stopped investing in me. So
Right.
I'm super grateful.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's an interesting question for Jen
know.
like that because are you going to be or can you be strong enough or do you need to have a guy come along and yeah.
What? Come along and
That's
what?
got it all right.
Well, that would be helpful. That would be the much easier path.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but relationships take a lot of work too. Like when you're talking, like people don't build into each other. Like me and Keely always say, like, yeah, things are rough. Some days it sucks. Like it's hard, it's tough. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm gonna hug her and kiss her and tell her that I love her. And we're gonna sleep in the same bed. We're gonna wake up in the same bed. And yeah, we might have had a rough day, but we're gonna work on it the next day.
Right.
Or the next day or the next day. It's not gonna stop.
Right.
And I don't know, you know, there's a lot of distractions in the world, a lot of things going on, a lot of things that can pull you off course, but at the end of the day, she's where I want to be. So,
Right.
you know,
Well, and I think it's
takes
proof
work.
of everything we talked about is a good woman, good man, as a team, they make a great team. For
Yeah.
sure. Great individuals, but better team.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's also talk about your other career. So you're not just a trash man.
Right.
You're also a famous singer.
I don't know about all that.
I mean, he has his own
I
band.
don't know about famous.
That's what I said.
Yeah, yeah.
That if you have your own band, you're famous.
I mean, the robots at Chuck E. Cheese have their own band, so
They do. They do.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese in a long
me
time.
neither, but I remember it.
Yeah, I don't want to go after Disney.
Yeah, so let's talk about your music.
Okay.
Yeah, how did you get into it?
I know.
What started it?
Well,
Because you're like
It's a
seriously-
family band.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
And like when people listen to him sing, I've had people say, "Did you bring that guy in from Nashville?"
Really?
yeah, right.
Look at him. Does he not look like a country singer guy?
No, he does. He looks like
No.
he'd be country. He sings like it too.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't like this anymore.
Why? No, he has that whole.
It was
like-
good for a minute.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Oh,
he's
you
got
don't
the
like
guitar
compliments?
and a hat, and then when he starts like,
Oh, get real low.
yeah,
Well, I told you I wear the hat to catch sweat, so that's not to look
That
cool.
helps.
That's so I
Sure
don't burn
does.
my eyeballs out with
so do you have
sweat.
your cowboy hat to wear?
No, I got rid of that in high school.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
What?
I said thank goodness.
Why?
I just don't like cowboy hats.
If he went on the stage with the cowboy hat, they'd for sure think he's from Nashville.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Do I wear the cutoff flannel
They'd be,
too?
Yes.
please.
Yes, we need to
They'd
have
be
a day.
lining up for
Yeah,
autographs.
Work
yeah.
boots
Wait till
and-
Nick has that day. Nick's gonna set us Sunday
Nick's actually on stage next week.
Woo!
No, this week.
with
Oh.
his cutoff.
Oh, we should all wear
I mean, we
cutoffs.
can only
Yes.
hope, right?
Yes.
Everybody
Nick.
should wear cutoffs.
Yeah, Nick. That would be perfect.
Do you have a cowboy hat you can borrow?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
I probably have one somewhere.
I don't have a cowboy hat.
We'll
I
get
wear
we'll,
one.
we'll get you hooked up.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
please.
Are you playing too?
No,
Oh.
we're not allowed on the stage together.
I wish you would be.
That's the thing.
It's never happened.
No,
Those you two been on the stage together?
I don't think Cream can handle both.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Poor thing.
because we just screw around the whole time, probably,
Yeah.
or
But-
just you know.
So how did you get into music?
I know, yeah.
So at our old church, we went to Faith Community for about 15 years.
Wow.
And so after fighting, and I tore a bicep tendon, and Keely asked me what I was going to do with my time, and I had told her I had no idea, because I was basically working out 6 days a week, and
Wow.
I ran a gym in Roanoke, so it was Carol's Flooring downtown is where that was. So it was like 3 days a week there, 4 days a week at the Y, whatever. So I was doing all these things, and I was burning energy, and that was over. And she's like, well, what do you think about a guitar? She's like, I've heard you say it before. I'm like, I have no idea how to play a guitar. So we ended up on St. Mary Street downtown in Fort Wayne doing whatever. We ended up in this parking lot at this church, and I'm like, what are we doing? And it was my birthday, and all of a sudden this dude comes walking across the parking lot. I'm like, is that like a boyfriend or what, what's going on?
Maury
Like,
Povich
Yes.
yeah, he just walks
On
into
the
the car, and
streets.
she rolls down the window, and they're like, she's like, you got the stuff? I'm like, what? I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, you know that movie with Antonio Banderas in it, where he's got the the guitar case full of guns and stuff. You ever seen that?
No.
Oh, what is that called?
I'll imagine it though.
I don't know. Anyway, he's got this guitar case full of guns. I'm like, here we go. This is how it's all going to end right here. Well,
Oh,
anyway,
my gosh.
But so it was a guitar.
Wow.
And it was just a $100 cheapie. And I started teaching myself through YouTube and stuff. And I mean, I'm sure Nick's done the same thing. So
That's amazing.
just teaching yourself simple chords and
That you could learn through YouTube?
No, well, that is too. But no, the fact that like she recognized that he had said that and he wasn't doing anything
she
about
remembers
it.
everything.
Yeah, like he wasn't doing anything about it, so
they
she
pulled in the back
invested in
alley
that.
of a
Right.
church.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna
it was-
scare you to death
was
to
super
get you to
creepy.
play.
But so yeah, then the worship leader at Faith asked me if I would be interested in joining the team. And I told him I didn't know how to play anything. And so he said he would make tablature, which is just sheet music with numbers on it. So you play that string, that fret. So I started playing bass guitar and I was super nervous and I would stand off to the side and I wouldn't stand in front of people. Like I would stand behind plants and stuff so nobody could see me. And yeah, man.
Are you sure those plants were they big
They
or
were
what?
big, yeah. They-
I'm
What's that
imagining-
supposed to mean?
I mean, he's the finisher.
no, the Punisher.
Oh, my bad.
Punisher. He's not the finisher.
I
Punisher.
like the finisher too.
This is whacked out.
It
But,
is.
yeah.
Stood behind a plant.
Yeah, so I would stand other places. Then he ended up getting accepted into Duke Divinity School, and he left. It was just like, hey, I got accepted. 2 months later, I'm gone. And it just happened to be like there was me and another guy who either one of us could have really done the job. But for some reason, God just put me in that position, and I started learning guitar again. So it was like, if you know the key of G for guitar, you can put this little thing called a capo on it, and you can play anywhere. So it's the same 4 chords, but you're like, yeah, look at me, I'm playing in B, but you're really not. You're totally cheating.
Look at me. I don't know anything.
Like
Wow,
Tim,
but here I am.
like Tim is a real guitar player.
Okay.
Tim can play anything
There's a
on the
difference.
guitar everywhere.
Okay.
I cannot.
Okay.
I have to play the key of E or the key of G and use a capo. So,
Okay.
but so yeah, he left, and I've never really.
And you knew you were a singer?
No, I had no
Like,
idea.
you didn't know.
Wow.
No, I had no idea.
You didn't
no,
know?
Ask Keely, she'll tell you. I had no clue. Like they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I told her, I'm like, I have to start singing now. Like, what am I going to do? She's like, well, you got yourself into it. You're going to have to sing.
That's a good wife.
I picked a few songs for that next week, and I sang them to her, and she's like, all you can do is try. So I did, and like 5 years went by, and
That's great, honey.
I was still doing it. So
Yeah.
So that's kind of how the band thing started. Like after we, we just decided as a family, like we were just gonna try something different. So after that, I still was in touch with a few guys who we were on the worship team together, and they would just come over and play music in the basement with me. Like I had a PA system and stuff, and some drums and guitars, and we just come down there and jam. And then I already was writing songs at that point, and I
Wow.
was recording them on my own, but
See?
I
Did I tell
can't.
you he's famous?
Yeah.
I can't do all those things well. Like I can strum the guitar fine, but like to play bass and to play drums and to put a lead line in there, like I can't do that stuff. And so I knew my limits, so I just asked them if they want to start recording stuff, and we started recording. And people come and go in and out of your life, and that kind of happened. And then we ended up coming here, and I was just telling Keely, like I really feel like there's something more to the words that I put down in these notebooks. Like I feel like there's something there, and I ended up talking to Tim a little bit, and we ended up becoming just really good friends. And we got, we're nothing alike. We have nothing.
and Tim are nothing
No,
alike?
we're not nothing alike. We love God, we love our wives, and we love music. So I guess that's enough. But
Yeah.
but we just started talking about music, and I told him I had some stuff wrote, and my boys are older at this point, and so they can both play music. Like they can actually read music, and they know what they're talking about. So
Can you play
What?
any instrument?
I used to be able to play the piano
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you sing?
some days.
Okay.
didn't you ask her that before?
Yes, he's asked me like 4 times.
Yeah.
I just go
and
along
he was
with
like,
it.
and that one time he's
He
like,
has been watching.
yeah. And then one time he's like, sing now,
Yes.
do it now.
That was a big thing. I was expecting that again,
No, I
actually.
was like, one of these
That's
times
why I turned
Nick's
my
gonna have
head.
to put something on. Like,
No, let's
like
just
we'll
not.
play some music, and you just be like,
Happy
Well, what do you-
birthday.
huh?
Oh, I thought you were gonna do something.
I know.
Listen, you put any music on, I'll belt it out there.
Right on.
It ain't good singing, but I don't care. That's what I love about karaoke.
Oh, I do love me some
Yeah, when we
karaoke.
used to have karaoke at the cafe.
Oh, yeah. I was not here for that.
At a stage.
We should bring that back.
Bring it back.
Oh, I go all out on karaoke. People record me. It's so great. I swear. Like, it's hilarious. Dinner and a
again,
show.
So you got in, created the band. Obviously, you're now helping at Life Church, leading there, helping in the youth, taking care of that. So let's talk about questions. So we have
questions.
So normally we have a phone number. People can send questions for guests, and we'll get one or two. With Troy?
Yeah, we have famous.
I know. That's what I said. Once people knew.
Yep.
Yeah, something to live up to, everybody.
Yep.
That comes on. Okay, so Nick, are you going to read the questions?
I can.
Do it.
Let me find them.
It's okay. We'll just keep talking until you
they're
find
lost.
them.
All the questions are
Oh,
lost.
no.
The questions will never be
Oh,
lost.
no. They will not. They're in text messages between you and I.
Okay, Jenny, Nick.
So, Troy, this is from Jennifer. I think you kind of answered some of these, but actually, I think you answered a lot of those.
Yes.
So, what is your favorite worship song to play?
Oh, yeah.
The one he wrote.
Oh,
Did anybody want to talk
yeah.
about that?
That's a good
Right?
answer.
Right?
That is a good
We
answer.
played it on Sunday morning.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a super good
Don't you
answer.
love when he answers your own questions?
No, I'm saying, I don't know how many people knew that.
Well, I didn't want to sound super
Oh,
conceited
yeah.
though either. Like,
Did you know it?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say "Empty Grave" by Zach Williams. I like that song.
Okay.
It lets me just sing and do whatever I want, pretty much. So.
And what's the name of the song you wrote? that you
Yeah.
sang?
Well, it's called "Oh Lord."
Oh, Lord.
Just super simple.
Yeah.
Were you here that? Yeah, you were here that day.
No, I was.
We played that.
No,
Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah,
was
he remembered. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said it's an original. When
Yeah.
he said it, I don't know how many people got that.
No.
Original, I wrote this.
Well, because I was nervous to.
Yeah, you didn't wanna say
to
it.
talk about it because I didn't want to make it like this is something that I've done or look at me. You know what I mean? Like I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't want it to come across like that. I just wanted people to
Came
just
across
enjoy
like
it.
God spoke to me and I wrote a song.
Well, I should have said that then.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're right. He's got all the
I
answers.
know.
don't
It's
he?
so nice sometimes. If you just shut up, he'll keep talking.
All right, let's try.
You are, hey, no, keep asking us some questions because one of them is, what's your favorite secular song
Yes.
to play?
I don't.
That was gonna be the next question.
Okay. Did I answer the other one?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, Mike did anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. I don't play secular music.
When did this start? Or do you
When-
listen to it too?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I grew up on like Bob Seger and CCR and Allman Brothers stuff like that. That's what my dad's friends listen to when they're playing cards and stuff like that. Was my scene growing up, like at the poker table throwing in quarters with my dad.
No
So
Skid Row, AC/DC,
Nah.
Poison, Def Leppard.
no, that's like hair band stuff. That's
Hairband stuff?
that's not cool.
Yeah.
It's just not. I'm sorry, man. Is that your thing?
Rob Zombie.
I used to like Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the one where the bodies hit the floor?
Like,
That's a good one.
Drowning Pool.
Let the
Yeah.
bodies hit the floor. What? Yes.
Pink Floyd.
I like Pink Floyd.
Yeah, Comfortably Numb.
Yep.
That's what I'd sing karaoke wise.
I don't know what that is.
You've never listened to Comfortably Numb?
I'm sure I heard it, maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Everybody's heard Pink Floyd Comfortably Numb.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the theory behind why you don't play.
Yeah.
Just made a decision.
Yeah, so it all just started with the whole band thing. Like when I first started playing guitar, like I would practice, Night Moves, Bob Seger, like that. I thought that song was one of the coolest songs ever. Like,
Right.
I mean, the premise behind it and all that. So I'm like, yeah, right on. Like, let's learn that one and sing that to my girlfriend. Like, that'd be cool. Like, so and it's simple chords. But then when God started putting these songs in my heart, I was like, man, I don't really want to waste my time on stuff that doesn't matter. Like if I'm going to not waste my energy, but if I'm going to put forth any kind of energy into this, like I want it to be for him. And I feel like the songs that he's given me, they can be fun. They can be loud. They can have crazy guitars. They can have crazy drums. I don't feel like it has to be boring. And not that Christian music is boring.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
some of the stuff I hear on the radio, and nothing against any of these people. I'm not saying I'm better than them, but it's the same
Yes.
6 or 7 songs on a rotation constantly. You're like, oh my gosh, if I have to hear,
Yeah.
Right.
Reckless
Slow
Love one
songs.
more time, I'm gonna wig out. Like,
Yeah. Like
Like,
slow songs too.
I want people to be super pumped about God,
Yes.
and Jesus, and be like, hey, like we can cut loose and we can party, we can have a celebration, like we can, jump up and clap, we can just have fun. Like I don't I don't think God has to be boring.
Okay.
And so I just asked him that wherever I sing, however I sing, whatever he puts in my heart is all for him.
Okay.
So that was something that, everybody that plays music with me knows, like, we won't do anything that's not God directed.
Right.
Even like some people are like, oh, you could do Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. Like, that's a Christian song because he's, stand me up at the gates of hell and I won't. It's not. Right. It's not at all. Like, you're reaching. You're trying to get me to do something I don't want to do. And so I think I've done a good job at that, of holding to that. And anybody, like I said, anybody in our band, they know. Yeah. And they're okay with it.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
so I just appreciate their support and their understanding. And maybe they don't understand because sometimes I don't even understand. Like, I'm like, I could totally go to karaoke and have a good time, but I won't.
Right.
And so I feel like that limits stuff I could go do with Keely or Tim or who, Jason, our drummer. Like, we could all go out and have a few beers and do karaoke.
Right.
But that's, I don't know, I guess I'd rather sit home and hang out with them and fry some fish up and make our own song.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's where that all came from.
Yeah, cool. Nick, more questions?
Yeah, I think you've answered a couple of Tim's, but he also wants to know who's your favorite guitar player.
Oh yeah, that's a deep one. Oh, you're getting the shout out.
Tim is the man.
Oh,
Tim is so good.
No, everybody idolizes.
He is so good.
Right? They see him in the back there. My kids are like, that's the one reason Brady won't get up and play.
Really?
Because he taught himself to play.
And he has that to look up to.
And he plays electric, and I'm like, you need to play. He says, have you watched him play?
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, yeah. Why? He's like, I ain't going up there.
Nah.
Nothing even close to Tim.
He's had a few years.
Tim would be his biggest cheerleader.
Absolutely.
He would encourage him any way, shape, or form to do that. And Tim would be like, hey, if you need me to take a month off so you can practice or shine or whatever you need to do, I'll do it.
That's so cool.
Tim is a super humble guy. And he's, other than Keely, he's probably like maybe 3 out of 5 people that can build into me the way that they do. Wow. I don't really listen to a lot of people. Like, I want to do things my way, how I feel like they should be done, and I'm usually right, but not.
I feel you. I understand that.
But I'm not. Right. And I need those people in my life to check me. And like we did the concert at our house for the summer series, and I told everybody, like, I would have never picked him to be one of my best friends in a million years. Like, if I would see him out in public, I'd be like, that old dude, like, I ain't talking to that guy. I never talk to that old dude.
He is so cool. He is so cool.
He's a cool cat, man. He's got a cool story, and he loves his wife. He works hard, like, and he loves God, like. Right. And so to have a brother in my life like that, who, there's days I struggle with things. I'm like, hey man, can I call you? And he works at home, so he's busy. Like, he's got a full-time job. Right. And he'll be like, yeah, and he calls me in an instant. And just having that accountability there is priceless, man. So, and we get to hang out, eat fish, make music. Like,
so
I don't
say
know.
his last name.
Giannis.
Is that right?
I thought it was Yanes. I've said that to Yvonne forever. No, she's never corrected me.
I'm pretty sure he told me he's 100% Mexican too.
What? No, that's a lie.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Real?
Yeah, I think he was telling a story one day. We were sitting out in the cafe, and
do you believe that?
I think his grandma only spoke Spanish, and
Does he speak Spanish?
No, he doesn't speak any Spanish.
Okay.
So I don't know what his problem is.
So what's his last name again?
Yanes. Was I right? Ooh, yes. I got it right.
What's up, Miss Yvonne Yanes?
I've said that her whole time, the whole time I've known her. Wow.
See, and that just shows the kind of people that, like, she didn't even correct you.
Yeah,
no, exactly. Yeah. That's how sweet she is.
But then she went home, she's like, Jenny.
Gosh, can she get it right?
What's so hard to pronounce about it?
Who does she think I am? Jeez.
Yeah, Giannis.
Now I'm going to go up to her right now after this and say, what up, Giannis?
Yeah. Okay, other questions, Nick?
One more. Angie asks, Angie wants to know how in the world you convinced Keely to marry you. She is a saint.
You basically
am I that bad?
No.
She's a saint. Like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know the person that sent that question.
I've known Angie maybe like 2 months. So I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's
Hey, how'd you do your proposal?
It was lame. We just went for a walk.
Okay, but that's so cute. I love
And then I
walks.
faked like I was tying my shoe and I pulled out the ring.
See, that's cute. That's so cute.
It was super lame.
I don't think
everybody
so.
turns it into a big deal now.
It is what it is. Like, I don't know. I could have asked her a million different ways, but I just wanted to get it out of the way. Like,
You just
Nervous.
act like you were tying your shoe.
I was more nervous to ask her dad.
Ooh, yeah.
So basically, I told him I was going to marry her, and I didn't ask him.
Because you were afraid of what he's going
Yeah,
to say.
we were in the shop. I'm like, hey, I'm going to ask Keely to marry me Friday. He's like, you are? I'm like, yeah, I am. And then I told her what I did. She's like, so you didn't even ask? I'm like,
Well, technically.
nope. I pretty much told him. So the next day I had to go back over. And I'm like, hey, like, it came out wrong. I was super nervous. Can I ask, Keely to marry me?
What if you said no?
I know.
See,
Oh,
that's a
we
funny-
were still rolling with it.
No, that's the funny thing. Like, I always say this. Like, man, what are you going to do if you walk up there and the dad
It's
says,
just a
I
respect
know.
thing.
I know,
He
but
was
what
old
would you
fashioned,
do?
dude. Like, it made him feel good about the process, and hopefully it eased his mind on some things. Like, hey, this guy isn't a total jerk.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I hope.
I'm sure that's intense to do that.
It was rough. It was super weird. That was one of the most awkward things I ever had to
I
do.
bet.
So,
Oh, my gosh.
do you want like a super, like,
Oh, I want a
proposal?
scavenger hunt.
Yeah,
That would be so much fun.
I missed the mark on that.
yeah, that's me too.
Yeah.
I did it in an arcade at a movie theater.
That's cool.
My kids make fun of me because
Why?
of it.
I mean, arcades are cool.
Yeah, well, we used to go watch movies together all the time, so it was like our thing.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Did it, and yeah, but my kids plan all these extravagant things.
Yeah.
Have people hiding in the bushes.
That's
taking
because we have
pictures.
Instagram and Facebook
that
now.
kind of
Nah,
stuff.
just get to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's social media now because everybody records it and puts it out there.
So you got to live up to what everybody else is doing
Yep.
or one up somebody. Yeah,
Yep.
I can see that.
Nick, did you do something special?
Nope.
What did you do?
We went down to the Sunken Gardens in
Aw.
Well, that's like
That's cool.
I didn't even
Yeah.
get down on my knee. I just kind of asked her.
Like, what
Oh my gosh.
what do you think? What do you
Yeah.
think?
Is this okay?
Okay. Any more questions, Nick?
Tabby asked this for everybody. What does your daily spiritual practice look like?
So I wake up.
At 2.
No, I wake up and I usually, I try to immediately open my Bible app, but that doesn't always happen.
Okay, so you open up the app. And
I was
you-
waiting for you to keep talking. And I usually have like a different plans on there that I do. And
So you pick a
yes.
plan and do one of the plans.
Yeah, I usually have like 3 or 4 going at a time.
And then how's the journaling going?
Still good?
Yeah, because that was the thing.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Yeah, that you were going to start journaling as a part of your
Yep.
spiritual process.
Yeah, I have a devotional. It's the Battlefield of the Mind. So it's like a 100-day devotional. So I'll read that and then journal about it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Troy, do you have one?
So I wake up super early, but I don't have a lot of time in the morning because I pretty much wake up at the last minute.
Right.
So, and Keely wakes up every morning with me, packs everything for me,
Wow.
makes breakfast.
That is love.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
she's
really
super
early.
cool, man.
Shoot. Wow.
Did she go back to sleep after?
Yeah.
Okay, I could do
Still,
that.
That's cool.
I know.
Yep. She doesn't, I mean, maybe like 3 times out of 18 years,
Wow.
she'll sleep in and then she'll call me. She's like, I'm so sorry I didn't get up. I'm like, it's okay. Like,
Do you pray before you leave together?
no, but we should. We really should.
Good suggestion.
Yeah.
My
thank you.
parents do it.
Do they really?
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
It really is because a lot can happen in a day.
Yeah.
And
So
they pray like
They pray together
every morning.
every morning before they leave. Yeah.
Wow.
Or
That's
before my
awesome.
mom leaves because she leaves before him. Yeah.
That's cool.
I thought I was doing so good.
This is a new thing.
So yeah, I usually pray in the car.
Right.
Which it's not really that. I mean, I don't feel like it's super intentional. You know what I mean? Like you're driving, you're distracted, but it's kind of my time. And I remember one day actually, I'm like, yeah, I pray in the morning on the way to work, and then you're like, shouldn't be praying in your car. You need to go in and shut the door and be in a quiet place. I'm like, man, I am really missing it
I
now.
know. Makes you feel terrible
Yeah, I
every
know,
Sunday,
for real.
right?
I'm
Why
like,
do we keep coming
I'm not
back?
saying it. Scripture's saying you probably shouldn't be praying in your car.
I know.
It said you should find a closet.
No, you're right, and I do feel like sometimes like I'm just, and especially at the end of the day, like I
Yeah.
want to stay up with my family as long as I possibly can, So then when I go to bed, it's like, oh, let me look at Facebook or let me look at Instagram real quick, and then I'll listen to a couple chapters and fit it in.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
I feel like I sell God short sometimes. So
Yes.
I got work to do.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah, so I do morning stuff most of the time, which would be I actually open the Bible app too and do a couple plans. Always have a financial plan in each one of them. So if I have 2 or 3 of them, I always will be doing a financial plan because that's something I've identified that could be a weakness of mine of getting caught up with money and possessions and things.
Oh.
So I always have one going and I always have a leadership one. So those are 2 that I do, and then I journal. So I have a day 1 journal. I go back and forth. I'd write in a journal, and then I'd go back and try to read my own writing. And you would think somebody from
Is it
first
bad?
grade was writing.
Chicken scratch.
It's terrible. So then I'd go my day 1 app, and
Day one's the bomb.
yeah, so I do my day 1 and journal about that. Which that's probably the most helpful for me because it allows me to have a conversation with God.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just can be talking to Him, and it's nice that way I don't have to talk to anybody else about my problems. You know what I mean? So you just go and cash it all out with Him. Write all that stuff down, and then it's neat to be able to go back and look too of like what's changed and what's different. And
I feel like you learn a lot of like about yourself when you do that.
When
What
you
I've
journal.
noticed. Yeah.
well, it just makes you process more.
Yeah, you're identifying what you might have been pushing back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What else, Nick?
I think that's it.
That's it.
Oh,
An hour.
We're an hour?
Yeah.
we're at an hour right now.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
See how fast it goes.
I know. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, let's end it up with
Okay.
talking about we're still in Revelations, but we've been in Matthew, right? So why are you laughing at me now?
Of all this
Look
time.
at me, Troy. We didn't talk about
Did I
that
say
last
something
night.
wrong?
No, we didn't talk about anything last night.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I
Go
didn't
ahead.
even catch
Go
that.
ahead, catch me up.
So
We're just talking about how we're 13 weeks into Revelation, but we're so far into Revelation that we're going all the way back to Matthew.
13 weeks in, we're on chapter 6.
and
Listen.
then we started Matthew.
You don't think it makes sense though?
It completely does.
We're just laughing.
We're just
No.
we're just having some light
Yeah.
jokes.
Anyway, so the reason we
Matthew.
went back to Matthew is because it has stories about being ready.
Right.
And so we're looking at the stories. This week we're talking about people who invested and multiplied and people who didn't, invest into people. And so maybe you can give advice. So the idea of, when the day of reckoning comes, he's going to want to see how you invested and, what you did with that investment. So
Yeah.
for all of us, we should have at least a strategy or a thought behind that. So maybe you guys can start with giving people advice. But don't start with you, Jenny.
We can. I feel like that was coming.
No, I'm just saying, maybe give people advice when it comes to investment and multiplication, things that you've done and worked.
Yeah.
Things that you tried and didn't work.
I feel like I used to be a lot better at it than I am now. But I've found that when I
Why
do
you
it,
think it's different? Why were you better before?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But I think I just don't, it wasn't in the forefront of my mind. Like life just happens and you forget. But I try whenever I can. Like if I get around somebody that has had the same struggles as me, I will bring up my story. So that I'm investing in them to see a different perspective of how you can overcome and then throwing God into it. So,
Good.
yeah.
I'd say over the years I've gotten better
That's
at
good.
investing in people. Like at the beginning of my journey with God, I don't like people. Like I
Really?
do, yeah. I'm not a people person. Like I don't.
Nick's pumping his fist back there.
I don't go seek. Maybe not so much now, but early on, I would not go seek friendship. Like I felt like I had everything under control. I didn't need people to build into me. All I needed was Keely and the boys. That's all I needed. Like as long as our house was okay, I was okay.
Right.
But then God has slowly put so many people in my life, and I hope that I'm building into them. I don't necessarily think I'm very intentional. Like I
Yeah.
don't think, oh hey, whoever's coming over today, Jason's coming over today. Like I need to talk to him about God. Like I need to ask him how his week is. I need to ask him how his family is. I need to pray for him, like with him. I don't do a very good job of that. But I have let more people into our circle, I guess, and just try to have more friends around and invite them over And maybe that's an investment, just having company and just doing life with each other.
Right.
I don't necessarily think it has to be, like you said, don't complicate it.
Right.
It doesn't have to be this huge thing where you have an agenda when someone comes over, because then it just gets weird.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want it to be like an organic investment. I don't want it to be like, hey, you're coming over to my house, I need to talk to you about X.
Yeah.
I just want the conversations to happen.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes God gives me the words to say or the avenue to go. But I also think sometimes he leaves it up to me. And that's when I drop the ball. So.
I don't know, though. The secular, wow, I can't say that. Music, like you doing that with your band, I think that's investing in them, especially like when you don't fully understand it.
Yeah.
You mean not doing the secular?
Right,
Yeah.
not doing it. Yeah. By him, like, putting his foot in the ground, especially if they don't believe it. Like, that's him investing in his beliefs.
Right.
Well, I thought about today when I was coming here, the guy with 5 bags of gold. Mm-hmm. And I know it might sound super corny, but there's 5 other people in the band besides me.
Right.
And I want to invest in them, not just them, because,
Right.
3 of them are my family.
Right.
And they're all my family, but, whatever. I just want them, when they're around me, I want them to know that they're loved, that they're cared for, that I'll do whatever it takes to protect them.
Right.
Whether we're together or they're across town, I want them to be able to call me.
Right.
I want to be someone they can trust and rely on.
Right.
And so I was sitting there driving here today. I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, I really hope that at some point this multiplies. And, you were talking to, actually it was Dan, about just laying bricks. Mm-hmm. Just keep building, and let God do what he's going to do.
Right.
So that's the path I want to be on. Mm-hmm. I just want to keep letting everyone that's in my friend circle right now to know, like, I'm working. Mm-hmm. I'm building walls, and I want you alongside of me, building with me, because who knows what God's going to have tomorrow.
Right.
And so I don't want anything to go to waste.
Right.
So if that makes any sense at all, like
Yeah,
I just,
No, it does.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's always been the same. So I'm the opposite. I love people, and the position I'm in tends to lend itself to everybody wants your time.
Right.
So everybody wants to be. So how do you do that without everything just becoming, it's not investment, it's just shallow, check it off the box, we had a meeting.
Yeah.
It makes them happy, you know what I mean? Because they want to know that they could be able to talk to the pastor. But long term, for me to be able to be effective, you can't meet with everybody. Right? Like, you can't have relationships with everybody. You need to be able to slow down, pick the people you can invest into, and multiply yourself out.
Right.
It's just, that's a hard thing in the American church, because the American church tends to look towards people, just certain people to be able to meet with, instead of saying, well, I mean, anybody can have the same respect as I can.
Right.
To be able to do it. So for me, it's make sure that we have those small amount of relationships that we are investing into. And that's why I said the thing about the kids. Just like you're doing today, you're going fishing after this. I mean, that counts as an investment, right? Like,
Absolutely.
that's what I want to make sure everybody sees. Like, investment, it starts with intentional time, right? And if we can't figure that part out, then we can't get anywhere. So it's just the idea of being intentional with where we're going. And then, again, adding to it, like, I do think that there should be 1 or 2 people that we can look at and say, I'm coaching these people, I want to see them move somewhere, because I've always said our greatest gift to people is to get to know who they are in God's eyes and help them see it and then accomplish their dreams.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what investment can be. Just sitting with somebody, getting to know them, and then allowing them to accomplish their dreams.
Yeah, for sure.
Inside of that. So, end us up, Jenny. So, what can people do to be able to send questions in next week? And
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you can send just what he said, questions, what, are you acting like me? I don't feel like I look like that. Questions, comments, you can basically anything. If you know somebody who wants to be on the show, if you want to be on the podcast,
because we're booked up for a ways.
yeah, until September.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
middle of September. Yeah. So text podcast, and that gets you into the podcast group, because we do now have 2 groups going.
Okay.
So that is kind of important to text podcast, but 260-408-8383.
Yeah. So, questions,
So,
comments.
anything.
Yeah, for the guest or just for something that you want us to address.
Right. Yeah.
On here. So, again, Thanks, everybody, for joining us. A couple things to remember. So when Jenny posts this week, make sure you share it.
Yes.
You do that, right?
Yes.
I don't have any social media.
Yes,
so.
I do. But the past week we did not because situation. No, we didn't the last week, but yes.
No, I know, but normally.
Yes.
Like you're putting something out
Absolutely.
there. Yeah, so
every
if it's
week.
out there, make sure that you share it. We'd want to continue for our reach to go further out. So you can help by sharing. You can help by recommending people to go on and either watch it online or listen. So
Yes.
thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.